What's happening, YouTube? It's Simon466 Cards, and today we're going to talk about accountability in the hobby, and specifically accountability on how the sale of this card was reported. This was a sale from September 2nd, 2024, from Golden Auctions, and this was right at the peak of the star Michael Jordan hype, where this PSA 8 copy sold for $244,000, which is obviously a very big sale and an important one for the hobby as a whole. And where I'm going with this is the confrontation that happened on Instagram Live between Ken Goldin and Chris from CardLadder. And so to summarize this, basically Ken came on their live stream because Chris and CardLadder had removed the sale of this card from CardLadder. And Ken said, "Why did you do that? Why did you remove the sale and make it basically illegitimate and fake?" And he said, "I have insider knowledge from someone who works at Golden that this wasn't paid for." And Ken said, "I have the receipts. This happened. This sale happened. It got paid for. Why didn't like I think the implication was, why didn't you just call me or email me?" And it seemed like Chris was just doing this for sport, just for his own amusement, to basically take a jab at Ken for whatever reason. They used to work together when they were all under the collector's umbrella, so maybe there's some bad blood there or something, or maybe it's just everybody's a fun little game at collectors to poke fun at Ken. Who knows? Anyways, I posted this video, and in the comment section, it got a few views, more than some other ones. It was pretty unanimous here. They said Ken and his pops are known for doing a bunch of shady stuff. Ken is a proven liar. Wouldn't trust anything coming out of Golden. And there were more comments, but that was a very strong theme in the comment section, and also some of the comments that I received in my DMs from a person or two, where basically they're like, Ken, let's just say, doesn't have the greatest reputation. And the comments seem to prove that out. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but reputation less than stellar. Whereas Chris generally is well liked in the hobby. And so that is the groundwork for where I'm going with this. It is now November 27th, and when I go to CardLadder, what do I see but a sale for $244,000 on September the 2nd, which is obviously this sale here. And so whatever reasons that Chris removed that sale from the CardLadder history, they've obviously been disproven, and Ken has provided proof to then reinstate the sale. And so I think it's fair to say that Chris was wrong and Ken was right. And sometimes if you go through these comments, there is a difference between a good guy and a bad guy and being right and wrong. It is entirely possible that Chris is a great guy and has a great reputation, and Ken has a more complicated reputation, let's just say. But it's also possible for those two things to be true, and Ken is right and Chris is wrong. And I think we, as a hobby, confuse those two things a little bit, between right and wrong and someone's reputation. Because I'm being pretty objective here. I don't know Ken, I don't know Chris, I don't know Josh, I don't know any of the players here. But it seems to me that people have conflated, well, he's got a good reputation, he's well liked, he's got a bad reputation, he's not well liked, to mean then therefore it must be true that the person with the bad reputation is wrong all the time, and the guy with the good reputation and well liked is right anytime that these two people interact. And that's not true in this case. There's no other proof that I need other than this. Again, I don't know Chris. He's might be a great guy. I don't know. But in this particular case, I think he is wrong. Like, I think that's just pretty straightforward. And so, with something the magnitude of this sale and how important the Star Jordan card has become or is becoming, I thought, well, okay, obviously Chris needs to change his process for vetting information like that. Maybe they need to check with Ken. Like, again, why didn't he just email Ken and said, hey, I'm hearing this. Can you just prove this is real or not? Or vet it with a second source, like you're a journalist or like you're a reporter, and change their process so that this doesn't happen again, and that they would talk about why this happened. And so I went to the CardLadder website to see if I could see what accountability that CardLadder is holding for themselves, right? Like, they screwed this up. They removed the sale that turns out to have been real. And so I'm on the Why Choose CardLadder page. It says here we carefully vet every millions of transactions in our database. Is that a typo? We carefully vet every millions of transactions in our database. I think that's a typo. Someone tell them. Anyways, and work closely with marketplaces and grading companies to ensure our pricing and population data is accurate. Well, work closely with marketplaces to ensure our pricing and population data is accurate. Well, I mean, maybe not. Work closely with marketplace like Ken Goldin. Ensure our pricing is accurate. Might have missed on that one. Okay, so then I went to the About page. And in their core values, it says we prioritize total and complete transparency, so there is no secret sauce. We take pleasure in disclosing the methodology of our predictive pricing algorithm on every card profile that uses it and publishing daily lists of every sale we approve and exclude along with links to those sales. Well, I can tell you I've looked on the website and I can't find that. And so maybe it is a members only feature. But I think for something as important and big as this sale, it might have been worthwhile to publish something more public about it on your website. Or maybe that doesn't hold because this was about their algorithm, and the reason why the sale was pulled was because Chris talked to a guy. And so what happens to the transparency of those type of sales? I don't know. And then I found their blog. And so I thought, well, for sure, this will be on their blog. Here are the changes that we are making to our processes to make sure this type of mistake doesn't happen again. And you can see here, I am on September 14th, which is right around when the video happened. This video happened September 14th. There you go. And I can tell you that there is nothing about that sale that I could find. Please feel free to prove me wrong. In their entire blog section. I also went to their Instagram page. Here you see September 14th. And I don't see anything about a Goldin sale, about a Michael Jordan sale, anything like that here. I also went to their Twitter account. You can see here, I am on September 15th, September 15th, September 14th, September 14th, 13th. Like, there's nothing here. Again, maybe I missed it, but they never publicly addressed what happened here at all in any type of public forum. Again, maybe they addressed it to their own internal members, but again, for something as big of a sale as this, it seems like more accountability should be needed and should be expected. And after this happened, this blew up for a hot minute, and then it's now two and a half months later, and have you heard anything about this sale being removed and reinstated? Any reason explaining what happened, how this oversight occurred? Anything? No. We've just moved on. And it just seems like the hobby as a whole has decided, Ken, again, complicated legacy, complicated reputation, Chris well liked, Chris probably screwed up here, so let's just ignore this one and move on because it doesn't fit our narrative of who is a good guy and who's a bad guy. And so I want to throw out a scenario here. Let's change the players in this situation and see what you think would have happened if instead of Chris from CardLadder, it is Jeff Wilson with Market Movers. And instead of Ken Goldin, it's whoever it is that runs Fanatics Collects or Heritage or, any one of these other auction houses. Do you think we would still be hearing about this? Where Market Movers and Jeff or whatever did this thing where they pulled a data point and it turns out they had to reinstate it. I feel like that would have gotten a little bit more airplay, and that's solely because Jeff also has a little bit of a complicated reputation in the hobby. Rightly or wrongly, again, I'm not here to judge. But that seems to be why and when we hold people accountable. Where, again, if someone like Jeff had done this, we probably would still be talking about, remember that time, blah, 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 blah happened, where he deleted a data point from a sale. Whereas here, I haven't heard a peep from anybody. It's been 2.5 months. And so, as a result, the CardLadder hasn't had to publish anything. They're just like, this was a bad look. Let's sweep this under the rug and let's move on with our lives and pretend like it never happened. And so they don't need to hold themselves accountable because nobody's holding them accountable. Would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. Thank you as always for listening and watching. I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.